Hi everyone, it's Christine here from Ever After Paper Crafts, and I am really excited today. I have gobs of card samples to show you using this month, which is May 2017's Hero Arts My Monthly Hero Kit. I'm in love with Hero Arts kits. I think that they truly are the best bang for your buck when it comes to card kits, and definitely worth subscribing to. Again, this is the stamp set that comes in the kit. And it's adorable. It's got 3 different mermaids, 4 different sentiments, coral reefs, a seahorse, couple fish, and a starfish. And then it comes with coordinating dies, which I just keep in these pockets here, that correspond with every single image that you see here. And there's also some dies that don't necessarily coordinate, but are really cool. And I'll show you some of those in a moment. In fact, one of those is on the card I'm going to make with you on camera, and it's these coral reefs behind the mermaid in this particular card. And I have a couple others on some other card samples to show you as well. So I thought that we would go ahead and make the card first, and then I will quickly run through the rest of the card samples that I have for you today. I encourage you to take a look at my blog, which I will link below in the description box of this video, because my blog will have a lot more detailed information on the supplies used, as well as some more pictures and close-up pictures of the different cards that I have created for you today. So let's go ahead and get started. To do this background, the card kit also came with this amazing stencil right here, which hopefully you can see. Let me put a scratch paper behind it for a moment. That might help you see it a little bit better. And it's kind of looks like very unique waves. And so we are going to go ahead and first use this stencil on our background piece, which I just cut out using a Lawn Fawn stitched rectangle die. So I'm going to grab my scratch paper, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape with some low tack tape, which in my case I just simply use Post-it note tape. And I use this because it is very good at sticking things down for the time that I want it to stick down, but then once I peel it up, it's very easy to peel up. So I'm just going to tape this stencil down on top of my paper here onto my scratch paper. And now the kit also came with 3 different inks. And I just keep these in a distress ink cube. They fit perfectly. So there's a blue, a green, and a purple. And we're going to be using all 3 colors to make this card. So I'm going to start by putting the purple and the green on my ink blending tools, and since I only have 2 ink blending tools, we'll have to switch at some point to the blue. So let me go ahead and get this tin out of the way, and we're going to go ahead and start blending. Now all I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my lightest color, which is the purple. So I'm going to go ahead and open that ink cube up. Let me just make sure that I am on camera for you guys. Looks like it. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and ink up this purple really well. I'm going to start off the paper and just go around in a circular motion, just right on top of that stencil, just like I would do if I were using distress inks or any other inks. And I always, again, like to start kind of off the paper just a little bit, because that way you don't get a big circular blob, for lack of a better word, on your project. All right, so there's the purple, and I'm just doing just a little light circular motion here. I'm not very heavy-handed at all. Now I'm going to move into my green, and I'm going to go back up into the little bits that I already did, the purple, so we get just a nice blending of the colors. And my favorite part is going to be when we take the stencil off. It's so pretty. So I'm just, same circular motion, just completing, going back up into that purple and then continuing down into the stencil area. Okay, and finally, I'm going to go ahead and take this pad off, close up our purple and our green, and now we are ready for our blue, which is our darkest color. So we're going to go ahead and do the same thing, go a little bit back up into the green area. So we have a nice blending of, or I guess you could say like a shifting from the green into the blue. The colors will blend nicely instead of just kind of moving straight from one color to the other. When you go back up into the color you just did, it's just a nice blending effect. Okay, and so that completes our panel. So let's go ahead for the fun part here, and let's go ahead and remove our stencil from the top of our paper. So I'm going to slowly and carefully peel off the tape. And voila! Isn't that pretty? Now to clean your stencils, all I do when I ink directly on top of them like this is later once I'm done filming and I'm off camera, I'll just run this under water. You can also take a baby wipe just like you were cleaning your stamps, or use a stamp cleaner. However you want to clean them is fine, but I just find that simple water and blotting it dry with a paper towel works great. So that's how I will clean this later on. So let me pull this up a little bit better so you can see. Look how pretty that is. Isn't that lovely? I love, love, love this stencil. So hopefully that's picking up on camera. And you can see how I transition by going back up into the colors that I laid down first. You can see this slow transition from purple to the green to the dark blue. And I just think it blends so beautifully. And again, these are just regular dye inks from Hero Arts. These are not even distress inks. So I love, love, love this effect. So now we're just going to go ahead and finish our card. Here's what the finished card looks like. So just to give you an idea of what's left to do. Now, because I did not want to waste time today coloring, I really just wanted to excuse my head for a moment. I really just wanted to focus on the different card samples that I had for you. So I went ahead and I decided not to do the coloring on screen this time around. So I'm just going to quickly, here's a mermaid that I did. And I colored her off camera, of course, cut her out with the coordinating dyes. She is covered in, her hair and outfit and mermaid tail are covered in Wink of Stella glitter pen, as are all the mermaids I show you today, just for a nice fun added texture. I colored everything with my Zig Clean Clear Brush markers, watercolor markers, and a water brush. And so yeah, it's very simple coloring, nothing super fancy, but a lot of fun. So I'm going to grab some dimensionals. These just happen to be from Stampin' Up. You can use whatever you have in your stash. I'm going to stick a few dimensionals on the back of her. Peel off the backings. And then go ahead and stick her down in the right corner, the right bottom corner of the card. Now what I should have done before I did that, let me peel her back up, is stick these little I guess coral that I cut out with those special die cuts that also come in the kit. So I just stick those behind her, and then to quickly finish up the card, I would stick this on the card base, and then of course the sentiment would go right here. The sentiment that I used on my original card is from the kit stamp set. It's sending mermaid kisses and starfish wishes, and so I would just stamp that right there. And in my finished card, I actually went ahead and heat embossed it with Versamark black onyx ink and then some clear embossing powder. So that finishes the card. Then I added a couple sequins that came in the kit. So that would be how to finish that card. Let's go ahead now and let me run through my other samples because I don't want this video to be too long. So let me move this scratch paper out of the way. And I'm knocking everything over. Okay. So again, here's your stamp set that you get in the kit. You got these 3 inks. And then you got a bunch of specialty papers, and you're going to see some of these as I go through my cards. So let me bring this one over first. This one I created, and I did get some of the add-ons that come that you can add on to the kit that are actually still available. The stamp set from the kit is not. It's only available through the kit. However, a lot of the add-ons are still available. I made this frame on this card using the Hero Arts Reef Border and Frame Fancy Dies, and this is an add-on, so it is still available. And that's, you'll see I did this on a lot of cards. I was inspired by Jennifer McGuire. I will link her blog here to her magic stencil technique for a lot of these cards, and I will link you to her video where she demonstrates that technique as well. I used the same stencil that we just used in Distress Oxide inks to create this background, and then you wet your stencil, the same stencil that I used in the card we made together on this video, and you stick it down, peel it up, and you get this really cool effect. And again, I will link you to Jennifer's video on that. So here's my card here. This paper that you see back behind the mermaid is some of the specialty paper that was in the kit, and it is gorgeous. It is so gorgeous in person. I added some gold glitter drops from Nuvo. I heat embossed my sentiment with gold embossing powder, and of course colored my mermaid and my fish with my zig markers, and covered them with my Wink of Stella clear brush. I added some sequins as well. These sequins don't actually have holes in them, so they're kind of unique, and they're from Pretty Pink Posh. Here's my next card. This is a shaker card, and I just created my shaker element with some circle dies that I have in my stash. The sentiment reads, "An ocean full of thanks." These are some of those specialty dies that come in the monthly kit. And they're these really long kind of seaweed or coral reef or whatever you want to call them. And I just die cut them in white. Again, did the same magic stencil background technique with my Distress Oxide inks. Cut a few other fishies, added some sequins, and this is just a fun little shaker card that I created. My next card is this one. Now this one uses another background frame, or die rather, that is also an add-on. This one is called the Hero Arts Shell Confetti Fancy Die. So this is still available, and it was an add-on to the kit. And what I recommend doing, when you cut this out, you're going to have all these cool little pieces. There's a starfish, different shells, a seahorse, starfish, etc. And I recommend keeping those. I have a bunch of little bowls that are just really cute. They add to the decor of my craft room, but I keep cutouts, things that I have colored and things of that nature in here. And I saved all of mine, and I'll show you why. Let me go back to, let's see. Well, I haven't showed you yet, but I have used some of those elements on some of the cards that I will show you in a moment. So anyhow, so I did my same magic stencil background technique, then used that big die to cut it out, put it on a white note card. I cut out the fancy die cuts with some of the specialty paper, colored up my mermaid, and then I did some white heat embossing on my sentiment, and I added some gumdrops